Well, hello, and welcome to episode 69 of Aftershock Weekly. This week, we're going to talk about the 6 steps of converting an audience into a customer using a digital funnel. So let's go ahead and start with the top and the bottom. First thing you have to do is identify an audience. You have to know who you're targeting. And the next thing you have to do is you got to figure out, well, what's the desired result? And then there's steps in between of turning that into a customer. So the first thing, identifying your customer, let me give you a couple of examples. Let's say that you run a personal training studio or a gym, and you've identified that one of your audiences are women from 30 years old to 40 years old that have kids. And they are limited on time, but they have disposable income to be able to afford more personalized training. So you now have that as an audience. Or let's say you're trying to sell a house and you've identified, I want to sell to a first-time home buyer that is a male that's single between 25 and 30 and they live in a certain area. Those are 2 defined audiences. Now you got to look at what's the message and the call to action for those 2 specific audiences. Let's go back to our first example. We know that the mom is busy and she needs to get a workout quickly. So it could be something like this. Find out how you can burn 1,000 calories in a 1-hour workout at many convenient times and classes that we have. Try us for free. That's a very specific message and a good call to action for that audience. Now, if you're selling a house, it could be something similar to tired of renting, ready to buy? Download our free guide to buying your first home. Now, that's a specific call to action to that audience, right? So now we have the message, we have a call to action. That's a specific message and a call to action. So now we got to get the message out. How are we going to target this audience? Well, there's a lot of different mediums out there. There's Facebook advertising. So we can say this is our audience. So we can go into Facebook in the ad section and we can say, we want to target women between 30 and 40 that are moms. You can do that. You can target men that are 25 to 30 in that area you're looking at on the home side. And now that you've defined your audience, you can show them ads. You can also do a Google AdWords campaign. You can show them an ad if they search certain keywords because you know that they're interested in what you're selling. You can target them through display advertising, on your phone, tablet, desktop. You can also retarget them, meaning that let's say that they've gone to your site before and you want to retarget. That's going to be an important component that we'll talk about here in a minute with landing pages. So now that we are getting the message out, they've clicked on your ad, we're going to take them to a landing page. Now a landing page is different than your regular website. And the main difference is it's focused just on whatever the call to action is that you have advertised. You've taken away the navigation at the top. There's no sidebar with other information. It's specifically geared around that 7-day free pass or that free download of the buyer's guide. Whatever your call to action is, that's all that's on the landing page, and it's very clear what they need to do. Now we're also going to put a pixel on the landing page. So the pixel will allow us to create an audience, and if that audience doesn't make it to the thank you page, we can retarget them, continue to show them the ad. Retargeting is extremely effective because they're 70% more likely to click on an ad if they're being retargeted rather than the first time they've seen that ad. So retargeting is very important and another component of what you want to do with your landing page. So now that we have a landing page that's very defined, specific to that call to action, we want to follow up. Now these are usually in the lead stage as part of the funnel. So they've downloaded that buyer's guide. They have gotten that 7-day free pass. So you want to make sure now you follow up and you get in contact with them. That could be a text message, a call, an email, and you should have some automations put in place. There's a lot of great automations for this that you can use for text message that can automatically send one out as soon as they register with you. You can have a phone call that is made by an auto dialer that you hire, or it could be someone internal that gets that lead and makes that call. You could have an email that goes out the first time, or an entire email drip system that goes out if they don't answer. But that follow-up is going to be key to turning that lead now into a conversion, your desired result, selling them a home or getting that free pass or whatever it is for your business. So that leads us to the last step, which is the conversion. the ultimate goal of what you want to accomplish. So this is how the funnel looks, and there's a lot to each one of the elements, but if you keep this in mind and you start building out your process of, I'm going to identify my customer, what is my message, call to action, I'm going to get the word out to them through these mediums, send them to a landing page, follow up, and convert, it's going to be a lot easier for you to put together your marketing plan. So thanks for tuning in. I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you next week.